This is the first video in Logi's Adventures, where you can join me, Logi, and Rorik, two 9th century Vikings, on our adventures in different places. Today we have come to Withen's Clough. Vikings had pets. Oh, it was mainly the rich people.
No, the rich people had more pets. One King Chieftain, who was found at Gokstad, I think it's Gokstad, buried in his boat, in his ship. He was buried with, I think, 3 horses, 5 dogs, and some cats, and a peacock. And they were all pets.
So I'll just explain that I haven't got my Viking kit yet. It's on the way. So I'm not in my Viking gear yet. But Rorik has just today, this very day, got his new 100% woolen cloak, which he's wearing for the first time. There's a very noisy cow somewhere in front of us, so we're going towards it. Only because it's on our route. I was telling the milkman how I'm going to be a peaceful Viking, not one who waves an axe around like that.
If you're a peaceful Viking, then you're not a Viking, because the word Viking means an oversea raider. It was like a profession. Like, you could be a fisherman, you could be a milkman, you could be a Viking, which means an oversea raider.
Right. So I would be like a farmer or something?
Yeah, you'd be a farmer. So you could just say to people, I'm an Old Norse farmer, or an ancient Scandinavian farmer.
So I'm going to be Logi, the Old Norse farmer. So Rorik is not a Viking either, he's a woodworker.
Yeah.
After a battle that he's hoping to do at York, then he'll be a Viking.
Yeah, but I still won't call myself a Viking. I will have done Viking, but I'm not going to be a Vikinger. I'm just still going to be a woodworker.
And I'll just be there, the old farmer in the background. Well, what could I be instead of a farmer? You said a milkman,
everyone
is
was a
it?
farmer, but you could have your own profession.
Like woodwork or something?
Yeah.
So you could be a fisherman or a shoemaker.
Yeah, you could make bowls. A bowl maker. You could be a fletcher who makes arrows. I don't know, what do you think you'd be good at? Like, if you're
Oh well, I was interested in this poet.
Be a skald, that's almost a poet. You could be Logi the poet,
And
Logi the skald.
Who's that poet you were telling me about?
Snorri Sturluson.
Snorri Sturluson.
No, Snorri.
Snorri.
Yeah.
So Snorri, what's he called?
Sturluson.
Sturluson.
Yeah.
Is apparently quite famous now, because we know a lot about the Vikings from what he wrote in his poetry. I've never heard of him. Look at this.
So you gotta imagine you're working out when you're going through the forest all the way down to
There's a giant hula hoop here on this post. So we are going up to Stoodley Pike. But first we're just having a little detour over to this mound that Rorik has spotted. It's actually really cold today, and there's like an orange tint to the sky or the atmosphere around us. You can't see the top of Stoodley Pike, it's hidden in the mist. So this is the mound. I'm just trying to film your necklace you've made today.
Yeah.
Which is made from what?
It's made from the tip of antler that was used for that.
That belt.
Yeah. I think it was about here.
So it's quickly going dark now. We're heading up to Stoodley Pike.
You know, Vikings were scared of the dark.
Vikings were scared of the dark, apparently.
Well, they weren't necessarily scared of it, but they didn't like it.
They didn't like it. So in Norse mythology, when it went dark, that's when all the monsters came out.
Yeah, one Skald, a poet, recalled how he saw one of the monsters and it had horse's teeth.
Maybe it was just a horse.
Yeah, I might have been hallucinating.
Hallucinating, yeah.
As you know, the Viking berserkers, the legend says that they were immune to sword and fire. Basically, they were immune to pain. But that's because before every battle they did rituals and they ate mushrooms, magic mushrooms. They made them hallucinate and go into a frenzy. You know, in that first scene of the book where Rorik's aiming at that deer and he shoots and misses.
Yeah.
And then he walks out to the tree and takes the arrow out of the tree. Well, my original imagination of that Rorik was wearing a grey cloak then when he came out.
Oh, so it's perfect then.
Yeah, but because for the rest of the book I kind of imagined him wearing a dark brown cloak, I thought just not go with that idea of the grey cloak. But I really liked it. The last minute I said to change it grey. Well, if I can put a thought this is all the lights.
So Rorik was just telling me a couple of Norse myths, and we've come through the boggy patch. I can't really see anything now here. We've got to find our way down. It's really dark and we can't see properly where we're going. There's a huge rock here. We can see the reservoir in front, Withen's Clough.
We're not lost.
Yeah, we're not lost. Oh, just can't see where we're putting our feet. So we need to get a lantern. So we were heading towards the wrong rock at first, but we're back on the right path. Yeah, so we were lost briefly. Well, we weren't lost, we just went the wrong way. We could still see where we were. Anyway, we're going to wrap up this adventure, Loggie's adventure with Rorik, and we'll say goodbye in Old Norse, which is, how do you say it? Farvel. Farvel.
I also found out to say friend. Oh yeah, it's Farvel Friendi.
Farvel Friendes.
No, not Friendi. Friendi.
Farvel Friendi.